Hey, good morning, guys. How are you doing today? So today I want to talk about something that is important, especially for companies that are beginning to grow, right? You've reached the stage where you probably need to set up a leadership team. You need to have a group of people who are supposed to drive the company. Now, you could be a new company or an investor who has money, and you're looking for a CEO, somebody to lead the organization. Now, how do you choose those type of people, right? Now, a lot of us, in fact, I was reading a book the other day where they were talking about the qualities of a good leader, and how to determine who a good leader is. A lot of these are just textbook practical things, You hear things like you need to be sure that you are choosing somebody who is visionary and strategically aligned. You hear things like you need to choose somebody who is diverse and inclusive. You hear things like they must be adaptable and agile. They must have the ability to manage stakeholders. They must be good decision makers. The question is, how, again, like I said, these are all theoretical. How do you determine somebody who is visionary and strategic when you are just interviewing them for the first time? Right? You see, those are key things, so that's why a lot of times when you see all this MBA theory and some of these so-called coaches now, you have coaches everywhere who have never run a business. They have no idea, but because they have read something in a textbook, they now start telling you, oh, you must choose somebody who is visionary and strategic. How do you choose all that? Right now, I'm going to give you about 5 key things, right? 5 key things that you must consider when choosing a leader. And some of this is going to be applicable to you. Some may not, right? And some will be applicable to companies who already have a good team and they are just trying to promote some people to leadership position. Some may be applicable to those who are just brand new and trying to choose a leader. Now, the first thing I have seen from experience is it is always best to choose a leader from within. And I'm telling you this, right? We've tried it many times. Many a times we've tried to bring in fresh blood, new people into the system. It hardly works. Now, one of the things you will also notice is that a lot of times the people you are bringing in have accumulated junk from wherever it is that they are coming. They do not align with your company policies, your principles, your cultural fit, and things like that, right? So as much as possible, even if it is somebody that doesn't have the required knowledge for the position you are putting them in, cultural fit is typically more important. It is better for you to take somebody who understands your company, understands the processes, has worked with you for a long time, and then train them for the new position that they are trying to fit in. Don't worry about, say you're trying to fill a HR position, for example, and you have people who have never been HR, but because they understand your company, they understand the people, it's easier for you to promote them to that position and then have them trained on the HR policies and processes. So that's number 1. Try as much as possible to promote from within. Now, number 2 is choose those who challenge you. And this is so vital. Right? There's a book by, I've forgotten the name of the book, but the book talks about conflict in the workplace. I'll remember it as I go along. It's a book that every company needs to read. Now, why I say it is very vital for you to choose those that challenge you is because in any organization where you have the so-called people who are just there, right, to agree with everything you say, they will typically not make good leaders. Those are just people who are ready to do anything. Oh, once you say this, they are okay. No, you need to choose those who, when you are in a meeting, they are telling you, hey, this is not right. This is the reason why I don't support it. This is my reason XYZ. Those are independent thinkers. Those are people that at the end of the day, right, when your back is turned, they will take the right decision. Okay, so again, the second point is choose those who challenge you. I know there are a lot of people, a lot of business leaders who don't want to be challenged, who think, oh, their decision is the best in every instant. It doesn't work that way. You need to learn to work with those who challenge you, because a lot of times, those who keep quiet do not have the interests of the company 100% at heart. So that's very important. Now, another thing you need to do is to choose those who fight for their team. And I mean it. If you are running a company that has been in existence for quite a while, you will know those, either they are team leads or supervisors or managers, and you're trying to move them to executive positions. When you see those people who have a passion, when you try to do certain things, they object. They say, no, my team is not going to work like this. We have somebody like that in our organization. Anytime I try to make certain moves, he always opposes it. Right? He will say, no, these guys are overworked. They've done this. They come to work on Saturdays, this and that. Oh, this particular person, you may not like him, but this is the things that he does. Those are good leaders. Those are people who are going to be sympathetic. They are going to be empathetic to the workforce. And I can tell you, it is very vital. If you don't have a leader who understands people, a lot of times, running a good company is not just all about, getting the work done. You also need to consider the employees and their attitude. So again, choose one who fights for the team. Now, this is one that you see everywhere. The fourth point is somebody who is a cultural fit for the work environment. Very vital. I've seen many instances. In fact, we've made those mistakes whereby we have people, let me give an example. There was a guy who was working with us. Now, he grew from, beginning working with us, but he was such a neat freak. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be neat and all that, but again, this guy can spend, every minute of the day, he's always polishing his shoes. Right? He goes outside, comes back in, he has to reshine the shoes. Right? In a small environment where I had about 5-6 people, he was always on suit, And so when things began to happen, right? And that was when we started newly, you had we had containers to offload. This guy, that was the head of the company, will be helping people to offload. He will not even touch it. Why? Because he doesn't want to dirty his shoes and all that. So what am I saying? There is a culture in an organization. There is a way you do things, right? Make sure you choose somebody who aligns with that. Even if the person is coming in new, right? Make sure you choose one that aligns with that. Now, this last one, number 5, is going to be more vital for those people who are choosing from outside. Right? And what I'm trying to say here is, you need to choose somebody whose experience aligns with your company. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. Experience alignment. Now, and I'm going to use an example. We recently had a change in our HR department, and we selected somebody from the interview. She was the best, the experience and everything. But the mistake we made was that this person was somebody who came from a company where there were about 6 or 7 employees. Now you take somebody who has been overseeing 6 or 7 employees to lead HR in a company that has over 132 employees. It was a big total experience misalignment, right? So that is very vital. Don't joke with it. It makes a lot of sense to always choose somebody who is aligned. I mean, their type of experience is similar to the type of experience that they are going to choose. You see, once you have a company that has reached a certain level, a lot of things change. You're going to have systems in place. You're going to have HR payroll. You're going to have policies. Now, this person was coming from a place where they use Excel sheet because it's just a few people. They did not have a CRM system. They did not have a way to track customer service calls and so many things. So it became very impossible for her to align into the process of the company. She couldn't fit. Right? So that's the fifth point. Now, I'm going to throw in something here, especially, and this is very vital, because a lot of times, if you look at the 5 points I've given, you need to choose somebody who challenges you, somebody who will fight for the team, cultural fit. A lot of times, if you're hiring people afresh, right, it's difficult to know if they have those things. So how can you know that these people have such qualities during the interview? One of the key things I will advise you to do is to always have a group interview. Now, what do I mean by a group interview? If you have about 5 or 6 people that you are interviewing for a position, and again, I make this a policy for each role, I will advise you interview not less than 10 people. Right now, but if you have like 5 or 6 people that you're interviewing for that position, the best thing you can do is do a group interview at some stage with all of them. So when I mean a group interview, have all of them sit down together, and then you ask questions. You ask different questions, ask different challenging questions, and then see how each of them responds. When somebody responds, tell the person to, to critique the response of another person. Tell them to share ideas, to share, have a session where you are going to have each of the new employees critiquing each other. And then at the end of the day, one question I always tell them is, if you were me, who amongst these people will you hire? And you will see them, they begin to give you different reasons, it's such an exciting thing. So again, if you are hiring for a high level position, these 5 points: number one, promote from within where possible. Number two, choose those who challenge you, those that you already know. Look for those who fight for the team, and then look for those that have a cultural fit. And then lastly, make sure their experience, if they are coming from outside, is aligned with the type of company, the company size that you have. Now, follow these processes, and I can guarantee you, and especially the group interview, I can guarantee you, you will be having the best leaders for your company. Right now, if you don't follow me, make sure you click the link, comment, tell me how these lessons are impacting you, how it's helping your business. Subscribe, comment. I would love to hear from you. Thank you.